Students, happy and good morning to you all. Be blessed with the better days of safety, good health, and let the sweet moments of life sustain you. Thank God. I greet and welcome you to the class on commercial applications. Students, with no disturbance around, learning won't be a problem to you all. You better take down the additional points which I tell you in between and stay focused and grasp the concepts with first class fineness. Students, before I go through the learning objectives for today, please let me list up the topics learned in the previous class, which are as follows. We have gone through the organizations based on basis of ownership structure. Under that, we have seen three with meanings and examples: private sector enterprise, public sector enterprise, and joint sector enterprise. Charitable organizations, meaning with examples. Next, we move on to the next unit chapter: ownership structures, sole proprietorship, sole trading concern, meaning of sole proprietorship with example, formation of sole proprietorship, definitions of sole proprietorship. Under that, we have taken only 3 out of 4 or 5 given in the text. Next, features of sole proprietorship or sole trading concern. There are 7 points simplified for you. We have done that. We couldn't do the recapitulation then. Children, now let's move on to today's class. Let me list out the learning objectives for the class today. We will recall the features of sole trading concern. Once again, only the main features. We'll go through the merits and advantages of sole trading concern, demerits and disadvantages of sole trading concern, suitability and applicability of sole trading concern to various business. We can also get to know the brief introduction to the next chapter in it. Joint Hindu family business, also called as Hindu undivided family business. Joint Hindu family business, also called as Hindu undivided family business. Before I go to that, let me start with a recollection of the main features dealt in the previous class. Let me list out for you children. Only 6 and 7 are given on this page, so I'll list out the rest of the 5 for you. We have gone to the features of sole trading concern. We started to understand the first one, single ownership, one-man control and management. The second one, the third one was no separate legal entity. The fourth one was unlimited liability. The fifth one was no profit sharing, no division of profit. Sixth one was small size operations. Seventh one was no legal formalities or free from legal restrictions. That was a feature of sole proprietorship or sole trading concern. Now we'll move on to study merits or advantages of sole proprietorship. Merits or advantages of sole proprietorship. Please note that children, there are about 9 which you should know. Very simple for you. At least 7 you should remember to write, children. 7 out of 9 will be helpful to you to get good marks. Merits and advantages of sole proprietorship. The main advantages of sole proprietorship are as follows: easy to start and dissolve, motivation to work, quick decisions, independent control, secrecy of business affairs, personal touch, inexpensive management. But 8 or 9 are there, children. Flexibility of operations, social desirability. So out of 9 you can understand 7. First, easy to start and dissolve. Dissolve is to end. So easy to start and easy to close. Easy formation. Establishment of the business is very quickly done. Easy to start and dissolve. Dissolve means ending or winding up of the company. A sole trading concern can be formed or closed without any elaborate legal procedure or complicated legal procedure as required in case of companies or cooperatives. In case of companies or cooperatives, they need to go through elaborate legal procedures, children, complicated legal procedures. Because understand, a person under sole proprietorship can start business operations as and when he desires, and he can close as and when he desires. I keep telling you, we can take the typical example of the canteen put up in our school premises. Only a license is needed in some special cases: opening a wine shop, chemist shop, etc. They require a license from the respective government. Second one is motivation to work. Motivation is nothing but incentives for hard work, direct relation between efforts and rewards. Please note down, children. Incentive for hard work is always there. There is direct relation between efforts and hard work. Motivation to work. The owner or the sole proprietor takes active interest in conduct of his business since he is directly responsible for profit or loss. He takes initiatives, responsibility and personal care to run the business effectively or efficiently. Children, please make a note here. It is like the more the proprietor work, the more he will earn. Simple as that. The more you study well on daily basis, the more marks you can expect at the end of the academic year. It is like the more the proprietor works, the more he will earn. So you must understand motivation to work, incentives for hard work is always a motivating factor. So you must understand this, children. Let's move to the third important merit, quick decisions or prompt decisions. The sole proprietor need to take quick decisions or prompt decisions. That is very important, children. So let's move to the third one, quick decisions. Sole proprietor takes quick decisions regarding his business affairs and he need not consult anybody to carry out these decisions. This helps to improve the efficiency of the business operation. I've made it simple for you to understand, children. So please understand, every business has got their own pricing policy. Please make a note here. Pricing policy, credit, discounts, clearance, everything. They have their own ways of conducting the business. Here in sole proprietorship, he can take spot decisions as and when required. This will help him to improve the efficiency of the business operations. Next, fourth one is independent control. What is the meaning of independent control, children? Please make a note here. There's no interference in day-to-day running of the business from anybody, even government. No interference. Authority and responsibility are vested in the same person, sole proprietor, sole owner, single ownership. So there is complete freedom of action without any interference of outside agencies like government in day-to-day business of a sole trader. The sole trader is free to take any decisions. Please make a note here, children. Better control of business functions takes place. There is no specific law under which business requires to be complied with. So that is a most important thing, important merit given to sole proprietorship. Independent control. That means there's no interference in the day-to-day running of the business, either from the government or any outsider. Fifth important merit is secrecy of business affairs. Secrecy of business affairs is nothing but maintenance of business secrecy. Please make a note here. Maintenance of business secrecy, and it's very important in small-scale business, children. Even in the classroom, there are toppers who will never reveal their secrets, the techniques of their study. Nothing they will tell. They'll be so silent, but the marks will be so high compared to the others. So secrecy of business affairs is very important. A sole trader need not disclose his business accounts and records to anybody. He is in a position to safeguard his business records, secrets. Complete secrecy of business affords him to greater competitive strength. Please note this, children. You can apply this in your student life also. Complete secrecy of business affords him greater competitive strength. Next is personal touch. Personal touch is nothing but kind of intimate contact with customers, close relation. The proprietor develops close and personal contact with his customers and gives the best possible service. You must understand that. Satisfied customers bring you more business because they repeatedly come to the shop and repeatedly come. So it's more business for them, increase in sales. He keeps personal contact with the employees and motivate them, not only the customers but also the employees, the workers. Employees are nothing but workers and motivate them to give their best for the success of the business. Children, please make a note here. He can cater to exact requirements of the customer, that's one. And also, the another point is, sole proprietor can easily know the taste, habits, attitudes of his customers. He can also know the difficulties and complaints also, children. It is not only the taste, habits, preferences of the customer. Sole proprietor also can know about the difficulties and complaints of the customers. And he also is in close touch with the workers, employees. Next is seventh one, inexpensive management. Inexpensive management means it is all done by a sole proprietor. Management of sole trading concern is not expensive at all. The proprietor enjoys the benefits of hereditary goodwill. So it's very important, children, ancestral goodwill, reputation. So it is for generation he gets to know about his business. Hereditary goodwill. All supervisory and management activities are performed by the proprietor himself, the sole proprietor himself, the sole trader. This minimizing the additional expenditures on managerial staff. He does everything. I told you, if at all they are in need of workers, they can make the whole family members can work there. That is what is happening, children, because once the family members get involved, the expenditure, the cost of paying for these services will be reduced. There is no need for hiring professional managers or other personnel, staff, workforce. What is personal? Personal here is not about somebody it is the workforce, the labor, or the staff members to run the business. So it's very important that he himself does all the work. So you must understand that the overhead, the indirect costs are very low, leading to good savings. If the indirect cost or cost expenditures are low, it will lead them to save and earn reasonable profits. Next, we move on to 8.1, flexibility of operations. Adapting to the changing conditions of the society or the market, they're going to adapt operations. So flexibility of operations is very, very important. The proprietor can adjust his policies to meet the requirement of the changing business environment. What is the meaning here? He is ready to adapt to the changing conditions of the market, also the social economic conditions of the society. So a crisis like this, sole proprietorship is still functioning, children. Before industrial revolution, it was so popular. After the industrial revolution, slowly it has lost its popularity, but still it is there in the field. So you must understand this type of business organization. The proprietor can adjust his policies to meet the requirement of changing business environment, maximum flexibility here, changing business environment. He may introduce changes or innovation quickly with great ease. There are no legal restrictions on the proprietor. So you must also understand this, children. He can easily change, expand, or reduce his business. Please make a note here. Sole proprietor can easily change his business, expand his business, or reduce his business. Ninth one was social desirability. So you choose 7 out of 9, children. 9 points. 9 I've given here. At least 7 you should know. Please make a note of it. Ninth one, social desirability. It provides self-employment with anything, children, anything with the word social is society related, community related, social desirability. So every business has got social responsibility. Every business has got social responsibility. So sole proprietorship provides self-employment with independent way of life. So I told you, if at all you want to be independently working, you should have your own business. That's why the Muslim community, even the Marwari community, they all have their own businesses. They don't like to work under anybody. Sole proprietorship. It makes for diffusion of business, decentralization, not concentrating. It avoids concentration of natural wealth, decentralization of business ownership, and offers equal opportunity to all to use their talents. So large scale employment is also given. What is the meaning of opportunity, children, to all? Doesn't mean large scale employment opportunities are also given. It also helps in decentralization of economic development of the country. Economy is getting decentralized means economy is getting decentralized. There is of course economic development in the country. There are 9 points for you to know, children. I'll store the 9 points. First one, what you've gone through, the merits or the advantages of sole proprietorship. The main advantages are easy to start and dissolve, motivation to work, quick decisions, independent control, secrecy of affairs, personal touch, inexpensive management, social desirability, flexibility of operations. So we have gone through about 9, at least 7 you should know, children. I hope you understood quickly. Next, move on to demerits, disadvantages. Most of the time it's opposite to the advantages. So what's not found in the business? Limitations are there, drawbacks are there. So 5 points you should know, children. There are finally 5 points for you to know. Limited capital, limited managerial ability, limited liability, lack of continuities, limited scope for expansion. Only 5. So we had so many children, but you are given only 5. Please know all the 5. First one is limited capital. Capital is nothing but the fund finances required for starting a business and keep it running. The funds required. How are the capital raised? Capital is raised, most of the capital is raised through issue of shares. But here, the sole proprietor brings his own money and start the business. So I told you, canteen lady cannot cannot make public to subscribe shares because it's run in a small scale business. Same way, her capital is brought by herself, funds, finances. The disadvantage of sole trading concern are as follows. There are 5. First one is limited capital. What is limited capital? Limited financial resources. Please make a note here. Limited financial resources. A sole proprietor cannot raise capital which is required for large operations with expansion of business. So capital is brought by himself, limited financial resources. There are limitations of his own resources and also borrowing capacity. Please understand this, children. Borrowing capacity is also limited. He cannot go for loans and take overdraft facilities and all that. So one more point you can remember, your children. The sole proprietor cannot raise funds from financial institutions. Second one is limited managerial ability. Limited managerial ability. So it is not possible for the sole proprietor to possess the expertise in all fields. He cannot be the master of all trade. So what happens now? So what are the fields like? Example fields like field of activities like production, finance, personnel, marketing. One man cannot do all this important functions, children. So he or she has to do all the jobs himself. So limited way. The management lacks specialization. They cannot improve in their work. They'll, the expertise is lost, lacks expertise or lacks specialization, and therefore he may not be able to manage the business efficiently. Please make a note here, children. The decisions of the sole trader may not be balanced here. If there is a lack of specialization and he cannot manage his business efficiently, the decision of the sole trader or sole proprietor may not be balanced. Unlimited liability and risk. Whenever you get the word liability, you must also talk about the risk. The sole trader is personally liable for all the debts of the firm. Debts means the borrowings. Business failure may land the sole trader in total bankruptcy. What is the meaning of bankruptcy? In another slang word, we say pauper. So bankruptcy means totally pauper, bankruptcy, total bankruptcy. His personal assets are liable for his business debts. That is why it is the most dangerous thing, children. It's unlimited liability. Sole proprietor will have to attach his personal assets in case of the firm undergoing the business undergoing a failure and there's a lot of risk of repayment of debts. He has to attach his personal assets and he is liable for the business debts. Sole trader will always be haunted by the fear of losing. Please make a note here, children, which I know. Sole traders will always be haunted by the fear of losing his private property in case of failure. That happens. That is a demerit. Next one, lack of continuity. So instability of business or lack of continuity is also there, children. You must understand. Next one is limited scope for expansion, but before that we'll see lack of continuity. Yes, short life. Lack of continuity or instability of the business. Please write that word. Instability of business is also called as lack of continuity of business. The continuity and existence of sole trading concern is most uncertain. So short life. The sole trader does not enjoy long period of continuity of business. Death, insolvency, insanity. What is insolvency? I told you earlier you heard the word called bankruptcy, pauper. That means you're not able to pay back the debts. Insolvency means you're not in a position to pay back the debt. Insanity means when you become a crack or lunatic, a kind of a mad fellow. That can also happen. Insanity or bad health of the sole trader. Even the bad health of the sole trader would cut short the existence of the business concern. During this pandemic, COVID-19, many people would have lost their jobs, lost their businesses, because health is also very important, children. That's why whenever I begin my class, I pray for you all. God is the only answer. God is the only solution for this kind of situations, children. Please make note that we don't have proper medicines to cure this kind of pandemics. God is only help. Please remember that, children, and pray to God every day. As soon as you get up, surrender yourself to God and then and request God to take care of yourself. He will do it. Next is limited scope for expansion. What is the meaning of limited scope for expansion? Growth, expansion. Growth and expansion is called expansion. The sole trading concern cannot expand its activities beyond a limit imposed by its resources and ability. What type of resources? Limited resources. What type of abilities? Managerial abilities are also limited. So these are the major drawbacks sole proprietor experiences. The concern cannot grow and expand due to the limited capital, limited managerial ability, and limited liability, unlimited liability. What is unlimited liability? Look at this, children. It's very ironical. Limited capital, limited managerial ability, but unlimited liability. That means what? A sole proprietor has to attach his personal property in case of failure of the business. We had few more children. I just listed out. Next could be the risk of wrong decision, risk of long absence, too much secrecy causes suspicion, weak bargaining position. That means what? A sole proprietor cannot control market due to limited funds. All these are the major drawbacks of sole proprietorship. Can I list it out for you, children? The first one was limited capital. Second one was limited managerial ability. Third one was unlimited liability. Fourth one was lack of continuity. Fifth one was limited scope for expansion. Next, we move on to suitability of or applicability of sole trading concern to particular businesses. Please note this, children. Before Industrial Revolution, this type of business was very popular. Was very popular even in India. But after Industrial Revolution, it slowly lost its importance as it could not provide large capital management, etc. We have just now seen the demerits. Demerits are more powerful than the merits in sole trading concern. Today, it's only under certain circumstances you get to have this suitability of this type of business, sole trading concern or sole proprietorship. The circumstances under which it is considered important are as follows. Some of it I've given. I've given about 7. I will start another few more, out of which at least 5 or 6 you remember. So 5 or 6 out of, let's say, 8 or 9. The circumstances under which sole proprietorship, sole proprietorship is considered important are as follows. This is where the business affairs are simple in nature, or even the risk is less. Please note those children. Business affairs are simple in nature, and the risks involved is less. First one, easy to understand, children. I've made it very simple for you. Where there is need for greater personal attention to customers, as in jewelry, etc. Greater personal attention to customers. Second one, for small business requiring small amount of capital and limited managerial talent. For example, retail store. I told you about a canteen lady. She is not a management professional or a MBA student or a chartered accountant, but still she has got the ability, talent, skill to do. She has got little amount of money to start the canteen. She's running it. Third one, where local needs are required to be satisfied. Local needs. Please underline this. Local needs are required to be satisfied. The third one is also very important, children, for perishable goods, petty shops, provisions. We all depend. When there's an announcement of lockdown, every petty shop is crowded. You know this during this pandemic time. The fourth one is business about kind of fashions, tastes, preferences of the customers are seen. For example, tailoring, dressmaking, etc. becomes popular. Then you have accounting, legal professions, medical professions, etc. Then trading in precious metals like gold, silver, stocks, and shares, where sudden change in demand and prices happen. Change in the demand and change in prices happen. Where business affairs are simple in nature and the risk is less. Already I've told you this. One more point you can add, children. Two more points I'll tell you. Where business activities are seasonal, that also you can say. Where business activities are seasonal, where business activities are required to be kept secret. So out of 8 or 9, you can remember at least 4, now 5 children, maximum 5. So these are the suitability or applicability of sole trading concern or sole proprietorship business. So please remember this, children. So I'll just give a brief introduction for the next small chapter in it about joint Hindu family business, also called as Hindu undivided family. Joint Hindu family business. This is only an introduction, children. Please don't worry. I'll just give an introduction to you before I close. Please note down there's a family here. You got joint in the family business is part of this chapter. There's another small unit which is added up in this chapter. Hindu undivided family. I'll give a brief introduction, children. Please make a note. Hindu families, undivided families, and extended family arrangement existing throughout the country, throughout India, consisting of many generations living in the same household. So many generations living in the same household. So even now, India belongs to, because most of the time it belongs to Hindu families. Most of the cases. So you must understand, all bounded by common relationship. I tell you, Hindu undivided family is an extended family arrangement existing throughout India, consisting of many generations living in the same household, all bounded by common relationship. A Hindu undivided family or a joint family consists of, let's say, husband, wife, their sons, their daughters, and so on up to generations. Family is headed by a senior member called Karta, not Kurta children, Karta. The family is headed by a senior member, a talented member. It could be male or female. Earlier it was male, so we can take it a male member who makes decisions on economic and social matters on behalf of the entire family are called Karta, and those other family members are called as co-parsonas. Co-parsonas. Coparcenes. Co-parsonas. The head of the family is called Karta, and the other members of the families are called as co-parsonas. So there was one case, children, in India which was very popular. Hindu family business of Sujit Lal Chabra. Sujit Lal Chabra's family cases was very popular, children. That just came to my mind. I'm just telling you. Sujit Lal Chabra. So Hindu family. Next one is that Hindu Undivided Family has given due recognition to Joint in the Family Succession Act of 1956. So this particular business depends upon the Joint Hindu Succession Act of 1956, but it lacks legal status. Status of joint in the family business children and its members are one and the same. It's just like sole proprietorship. The business and its members are one and the same. That you must know. So, joint Hindu family or Hindu undivided family is a legal term, children, related to Hindu Marriage Act. Hindu Marriage Act. Those India has got a lot of reputation of this Hindu Marriage Act. So you must understand this. It is a form of business organization run by Hindu undivided family where the family members of three successive units take into consideration. Please note down this, children. Significance of Hindu undivided family. First of all, for income tax and other wealth tax, under income and wealth tax in India, an Hindu undivided family or joint Hindu family is assessed for tax as a distinct unit of assessment. They get some benefits of the income and wealth. They get benefits of tax saving and reducing the tax outgo. So Hindu undivided family is also another type of family. This type of business is practiced only in India, children. So when I start the next class, I'm going to tell you in detail Hindu undivided family or joint Hindu undivided family business. So it is very much popular in our country only. It is not popular around the world. So please note down this, children. Let me quickly recall the main thing which I've done today, the main learning objectives, children. We have seen the features of sole trading concern. There are 7 features. Merits and advantages of sole trading concern are 9. So I told you to be ready with at least 7. Demerits, there are 5. Learn all the 5, children, because here in this particular unit, demerits are more important than merits. Then we've gone through the suitability and applicability of sole trading concern to various types of businesses. There are about 8 or 9 I told you, 2 more I added into the list. I told you to keep in mind at least 5 or 6 to remember, children. Then I gave a brief introduction to the next chapter in it, joint Hindu family business, also called as Hindu undivided family business. This particular business is very popular only in our country. So there are 2 different schools, children, for you to know. One is the school of Dayabaga and the school of Mitakshara. So Mitakshara law states that there is a son's right by birth in the property of the joint family. Nowadays, even female member of the family are entitled to some part of the property, wealth, and income of the joint in the family business. So we have learned so many things. Let us begin the next class with the joint in the family business, or also called as Hindu undivided family business. Children, I regret it is time to stop today's class. We will continue the class in the next session. Until then, let us stay safe, protected, and motivated. God be with us, children. Have a good day. Thank you, children. Thank you.